Hello, my name is Fraser Simons. This is my channel, Springboard Thought. Today I'm going to do a tag called the Book Acquiring Tag by Enter the Book. Phenomenal channel, you should check it out. She reads very eclectically, from fantasy to historical fiction to literary fiction, pretty much everything. She picks up classics. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that she doesn't read. I haven't seen her read horror maybe, but neither do I. So let's see. This tag has been around, so we'll see if I can find people at the end here to tag or not. But there are 11 questions. Do you plan your book purchases ahead or impulse buy? I have no bookstore here in a small town called Strathmore, just outside of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. There's a Walmart, that's it, or I guess Shoppers Drug Mart might have books. But yeah, I'm not picking those up. That's commercial fiction exclusively. So what I usually do is I have a massive wish list of just the most esoteric stuff ever, pretty much. Some new releases as well, if I'm really anticipating something but I don't want to pre-order it. I allow myself maybe like 4 pre-orders a year, if that. Otherwise, I add it to my book outlet wish list, which is now so many books that it is full. I can't add more books to it. And when they have a sale, I just go into the wish list and see if anything's there, and if I get it, then great. If not, no sweat. If I really want something immediately, or I don't think Book Outlet will get it in, then I'll get it off of like AbeBooks or something like that, or if I have to, the private sales from Amazon, something like that, or Book Depository will somehow outprice Amazon for new stuff by a substantial margin sometimes. Like maybe they're getting rid of it overstock style, kind of like Book Outlet sometimes, I'm not sure. I ordered a bunch of Clarice Lispectors like that, and they were like $12 around the Christmas season. So that's what I spent a bunch of money on for Christmas present money. So otherwise, yeah, I don't go on a site looking to buy new books and just scrolling through or anything. I don't pay full price for anything. I don't have that kind of money. How do you decide what books to buy? Mostly Booktube recommendations. I don't read the back of books, but I do put stock into other people describing what the book is about, what they got out of the book, whether they liked it or not, stuff like that. And then generally I'll get the book, wait for that glow to fade off, so I don't really remember it. I'll generally, hopefully, remember who recommended it and why, and that's about it. Not what it's specifically about typically, and then I'll pick it up. Just so I can go in with the book working on me and the expectations set kind of right. Which is why, ironically, if a book is super hyped up, at least in my mind, and I've been seeing that kind of stuff, I generally put it off rather than go to it immediately. Or I try to get to it before the hype train has started, like my review of To Paradise, Books of Jacob, stuff like that. What is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital, or audio, new versus used. I have an Audible subscription because they have the Plus catalog now. That's the only reason I have it. I went from owning 40 books or something to having 817 titles because of that Plus catalog. So they're pretty smart with that. I pay for the cheapest plan, the monthly subscription with 1 credit or whatever. And then I typically use my credits on books that either I want to supplement huge books with an audio combo or something that would really benefit it, or the odd time that's how we'll get a new release, because it would have cost me like $15 Canadian to pre-order a brand new book in that form. And then yeah, everything else, like I said, just those websites. So I guess small, because it's AbeBooks and Book Outlet and stuff. The odd time I'll order from Indigo if I can get it. Generally their prices are around the same as Amazon, which is the Canadian equivalent of a big box store like, what's those ones in the States called? Something like Barnes & Noble, but bigger, basically. That's like our brand out here. If you're going to go to a bookstore, it's probably Indigo or an independent bookstore, and that's it, physically. What about little free libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? I'm going to plan to go out on a little sojourn and find those. The app finally works here. Before I tried it and it didn't. And there's supposedly a lot of them peppered about. But the problem is that a bunch of the free libraries that I've seen, I think have been adapted, especially because of the hard times in town, to be food receptacles, like take whatever food that you want, like dry goods that you would see at like a grocery store, or have to donate the packages where you buy them, put them in the cart, and then whoever needs it takes it, except that it's in a little free library, which I like the idea of, but I can't tell. All of them say library on the app, so you can't differentiate between them. And I know for sure the one that's front of the actual library is food, and that one says that it's a little free library. So I don't know what to do about that. But I mean, the town walking, I doubt it would take me more than 45 minutes to walk to every single location in the town, something like that. So yeah, I'll have to do that at some point. How do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share like in a book haul or a diary, something like that? No. So you can correct me if you're wrong since you're watching me, but I haven't been doing any book hauls except for that one from the library that I thought was fun, because I thought that if I did a book haul, I would need to talk about each book and therefore have to read the back of the book and the synopsis and verbalize it to you all. And I don't want to do that. I want to know as little about it as possible. Like a gift from my past self telling me to read this, and I just trust them. Something like that, without having to consume the marketing copy, which might set me up for false expectations or something. So if you want to see book hauls where I just tell you, maybe I could tell you why I got the book. Like I could do a video where I say these are the books that I bought based on Bob the Bookerer, based on Mark Nash, based on Cena from Beating Around the Books, from whomever, if that interests you. But I don't want to talk about what the book is actually about, so I don't know how interesting that would be to people. And then I do mark every book that I buy, either audio, digital on Kindle, or physically on my Goodreads account, which you're more than welcome to friend or follow, whatever you want. So there's the want to read TBR list thing, and those are all books that I have access to, except for a cyberpunk project where I have marked a bunch of those because I want to be able to get them in the future, because I want to have read, all cyberpunk books basically. And how do I feel after acquiring a book? No, I feel fine. I don't know, if it's something I'm really excited about, I might be, particularly excited. Maybe I post to the Instagram or something, which I'm not very good at. There's a lot of Instagrammers that probably would shake their head at my feed, but it's mostly just, this is what I made for food, or here's some books that I'm excited about. That's about it. How do you feel looking at your books that haven't been read? Does it matter if it's currently a lot or a little amount? Doesn't matter at all to me. I read so much in a year that I don't mind that, and because I'm a writer and would like to write fiction eventually, I kind of see it as work anyway. So if I'm not literally writing or designing my game in some way, then I'm probably consuming a book, because I think that it would benefit my writing regardless as a peripheral activity, and it's a wind down. Like, it doesn't feel like work. It's a thing that's like goes on the compost heap of my memory and my mind, that improves me, I think. How do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? I've never thought about it. I have like, in the Goodreads app, it's probably like 850 right now, but last year I read 585, right? So that's like a year and a half of my time. If I kept that pace. The pace that I set this year is only like 400, right? So that's 2 years or something. And that's fine with me. So I don't have an upper limit or whatever. Do you have a TBR game or process for reading them? I just look at them and whatever I'm jazzed about at that moment, I pick up. And I have curated it so well. And you can tell this from my reviews and from my Goodreads feed that like, I think I've gotten really good at narrowing down the type of books that I want to read at a specific given time, picking them up in the right time, giving the best effort, reading a book in the spirit of which it is intended, such that my ratings have reflected that. Like only 4 DNFs, or sometimes I would have, more than that in a month last year. And mostly pretty high star ratings. So yeah, I guess part of that though is because I have amassed so much from Christmas and before Christmas from being on Booktube I think in June it will be 1 year of me being here. And so just slowly getting books from a whole bunch of different people have been trickling in. And then as I consume those, more or less, I know that I'll probably like it, or at least, like I said, be picking up a book in the time that will be giving it its best shot. Do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it? And can it be adjusted? No, I don't think so. I am very thrifty with my books. Like, I probably don't pay more than $10 or $12 for a book, and that would be like a hardcover, something like that. So unless I really, really want it, I'm fine waiting. And generally I'll pay for books with a percentage of royalties of things that have come in from my PayPal, so that I pay with US dollars, and so I get a good exchange rate, though not as good as it should be because it's PayPal, always screwing you over no matter what. Whether you send money or you get money, you're losing money with PayPal, but just barely enough so that you don't go through the bank. It used to be like 10 years ago, it was amazing, but yeah, they caught on. Tag 2 or 3 other people to ponder their book buying process. No, you are amazing just as you are. Being a book lover is amazing. So, let's see. I'm going to tag, there's an author on Booktube that I just have noticed, and I can't tag him because he has, I'll tag him, but I can't add him because he doesn't have enough followers or whatever, but his name is Rick Harsh, and he talks about mostly like modern, postmodern, metamodern books, and he seems to be heralded as like, or regarded as like a really prolific and exciting author doing like lots of wild stuff. And he has his own shop in Slovenia where he publishes people that can get published basically traditionally. So it seems really cool. I think Noah from Everyone Who Reads It Must Converse did a little live show about that small press. So maybe I'll link that below, see if that interests you. And but I'll tag Rick in case he somehow manages to see this video, and I'll tag Shelly Swearingen, Miss Reads a Lot, Another Bibliophile Reads, Just One Reader, I think has not done this. That's another channel. All of these channels you should check out, of course. And who hasn't done this? I think everybody else. Biblio Sophie I'll go with as well. And I think that'll be it. So thank you for watching. The sun is finally out in Canada. I'm gonna go for a walk. Maybe I'll find one or two of those libraries, because one is just north of me by a couple blocks, I think, which would put it close to a park, so that makes sense. And I will see you next video. Goodbye.